The cameras were already rolling when the tension began to crackle in the air like static before a storm. The set of The View was bright and buzzing, the studio audience chattering with the anticipation of a high-profile guest. Meghan Markle sat poised in her chair, her sleek navy dress hugging her figure, her hair in perfect waves. She had come to talk about her new charity initiative, but the producers knew the ratings would come from the unspoken tension between her and the legendary Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi, sitting just a few feet away, had that signature look, a raised eyebrow, a calm but unreadable expression, the kind that made people wonder if she was about to crack a joke or drop a truth bomb. For the first few minutes, things stayed polite. Meghan spoke about her humanitarian work, her passion for women's empowerment, and her belief in using her platform for good. Whoopi nodded along, but her eyes were narrowing slightly. The audience didn't notice at first, but the other co-hosts could see it. Whoopi was getting ready to pounce. So, Whoopi began, leaning forward just enough to make Meghan shift in her seat. You've been pretty vocal about feeling mistreated by the media. Do you ever think about how, maybe, the attention isn't always about bias, but about how you present yourself? The air tightened. Meghan's polished smile faltered. With respect, Whoopi, when someone is targeted day after day for things beyond their control. Day after day, Whoopi cut in smoothly, her tone still calm but edged with steel. Honey, some people out here have been grinding for 40 years without an ounce of sympathy from anybody. You've had global fame, wealth, and privilege. The media's not fair to anyone. Ask any black woman in this business. You think I got a free pass? The audience gave a low murmur. Meghan inhaled slowly, clearly trying to keep her composure. She glanced briefly toward the producers off camera, but Whoopi wasn't done. You keep saying the world's been unfair to you, Whoopi continued, her voice firm now. But you walked into one of the oldest institutions in the world, the British royal family, thinking it was gonna bend to your will. That's like walking into a hurricane and asking it to slow down for you. Life doesn't work like that, and maybe, just maybe, people would listen more if you owned your choices instead of blaming everyone else. The audience gasped, some clapping in agreement, others wincing. Meghan's eyes were glistening now, her hands folded tightly in her lap. That's unfair, she said quietly, her voice trembling just enough for the microphones to pick it up. I've shared my story because I wanted to help others, not because I wanted pity. Whoopi didn't raise her voice. She just leaned back, took a slow sip of her tea, and said, helping others starts with telling the truth, the whole truth. Even the parts that make you look bad. The silence afterward was deafening. The cameras caught Meghan blinking rapidly, her mascara threatening to smudge as she fought to keep tears from spilling. She managed a small, brittle smile, but the damage was done. The segment wrapped soon after, the audience applauding half-heartedly, unsure if they'd just witnessed an important conversation or a public takedown. As the show cut to commercial, Meghan turned away from the cameras, dabbing at her eyes with a tissue. Whoopi simply sat back in her chair, her expression unreadable again, as though she hadn't just shaken one of the most famous women in the world to her core, on live television. It would be the moment everyone talked about for weeks. Social media would explode with clips, dissecting every word, every glance, every tear. But for those in the studio that day, it was clear, this wasn't just a heated exchange. It was a reality check, delivered by a woman who'd seen it all, and wasn't afraid to say what others only whispered.